All right, go.
Hello, my name is Joey Black.
Hello, my name is Kevin.
Hello, my name is Ivan.
My name is Mario.
My name is Evelyn.
When stuff is being presented in the media, they misrepresent topics that aren't widely understood, right? No case is an example of this better than video games. Video games are often presented through, a very small lens that they are exclusively just violent, and they are created to make children harm each other or elicit violence in the masses, when the reality couldn't be further from it. Video games are merely a medium of entertainment that some people choose to partake in. And it is a choice. It is always a choice, and that is just the way that it is. Furthermore, to prove the point, in the article Violent Video Games in Young People by professors at Harvard, it was presented that those same individuals that played video games had played them more often in the past few years, yet crime rates had significantly dropped in the past few years. So if video games cause violence, then you would expect there to be an upturn rather than a downturn, yet it was the opposite relationship. Now, I will concede that some research does support to some extent that video games have a correlation with violence. However, this violence is inherent to a person. So a person who experiences a video game may, on a scale of 1 to 10, rate a 6 rather than a 5 in how violent they're feeling after playing a video game, right? Mind you, these same sources, in particular, psychiatric investigation, right, cites research that isn't particularly the most well-grounded, the most solid research. For example, in Evidence for Publication Bias in Video Games, it is stated that these studies have a very nuanced system by which they judge whether something is violent or not. They sort of, play around the truth, and they make points that aren't particularly the most concrete, right? So rather than addressing the issue, which is that individuals and the way that they treat their children is what leads to violence in the future, they use video games, which are something that is completely unrelated to the violence, as a scapegoat, as a justification for their wrongdoing, right? Furthermore, in the study, The Motivating Role of Violence in Video Games, Self-Determination Theory being the idea that one can choose whether to do something based on the way that they feel, right? They say that it actually turns out that video games can improve someone's ability to judge whether they should do something or not, and that video games merely place the player in the place of a hero and makes them understand what negative is versus positive, what good versus evil, what honor versus dishonor is. And that facilitates the growth in individuals, and facilitates the growth in particularly children in understanding the differences in between these facts. So to sum up the entirety of the point of this speech, I would say that what I want you guys to do is simply to, when you are presented a fact as a fact by the media, you simply ingest it as more of a pseudo fact. You seek out the truth, you understand what you have been told, and then you try to understand it better. You try to find your own resources to prove said points and improve your understanding of what is being presented to you, so that in the future, you are not using something that isn't particularly true as a support for a point that isn't particularly based. Thank you for listening.